to Mind Body Week at the Mindfulness Center, and to Sierra Bender. I really just want to get started about the cell phones because I've had people talking about it all during classes. Thank you, Sierra. It's a wonderful pleasure to have you here. Always. Always. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Sierra's been doing some research on her empowerment method, and the results have come in. It works. Women are becoming more empowered. Self-esteem levels are rising. So let your daughters, your mothers, your sisters know about this wonderful opportunity to study this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Because without Debbie, this would not happen. So I'm very, very excited about it. And we are at a time right now, too, about co-creating, because we can't do it all by ourselves. So everyone has a beautiful gift to offer, which is called the medicine and the conditions. So I'm going to ask you if you all stand up and get a nice big circle. I see some familiar faces.
Just push me over.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you, Leslie.
Okay. So, I'm all about action and experience, so I'll talk, and then we're going to put the information into effect. So I'm first going to start off with creating a beautiful sacred circle, and I'm going to sing a song. It's about Pachamama, Mother Earth. So she is the most powerful goddess of all, and the most powerful divine feminine force. And so we're all searching for our innate intelligence, our native intelligence. Native actually means being born of the land. We're all native. And our holistic intelligence. So it's more about the feminine essence of our brain. Instead of being book intelligence, we're all searching for this type of intelligence, and it's on the forefront right now, right? So singing is wonderful. It helps us open up our hearts and our throats, especially for women, because we don't use our voice enough. And for the men, love it. You help ground our energy. So this song came to me when I was going to Machu Picchu. you all, if you could take your places and we'll get started. Whew, so much to cover in an hour and a half. So, what's really exciting is this is now being measured against Debbie Norris in the American Institute and also University of Puerto Rico, because I work a lot with the Spanish culture, Peru and Puerto Rico, and a lot of Spanish people in the States now. And so as we are evolving as in humanity and all, especially the women, is we all want the same thing no matter where we are in the four corners of the world. So that has always been my prayer, that to stop violence against women in the four corners of the world. How did I come about doing this? Was, one, I am a statistic of sexual abuse when I was a child, starting at 5. I was a semi-professional athlete. There's a lot of physical abuse in being a professional athlete. I had a very rare tubular pregnancy when I was 32. It ruptured my uterus and I bled to death and I came back. And since all of those experiences, I had to redefine what was feminine to me, what was my purpose on this planet. I'm not here just to take up space, but I'm here to claim my space, and really looking for answers. And when I passed over, God, I like to use the word God or Spirit, asked me 4 questions. And the 4 questions were, spiritually, where did you disconnect from the source of my love? Love, not just an emotion, but the most powerful force on this planet. I'm like, I can answer that very easily. And then mentally, what were the belief systems that took you further away from the source of this love? From your religion, from your culture, from media, from your family. And then emotionally, why do you continually punish yourself not feeling worthy of this love? And then physically, why do you consistently resist my love, keep doing the same thing over and over again? Like, why do you keep attracting the same actors and actresses in your life? The same storyboard over and over and over again, because we're so attached to our story. So those 4 questions I answered very easily. I remember the first time I disconnected from spirit when the priest told me that I didn't know how to talk to God by myself. So it created doubt and fear. Well, I talk to God, spirit all the time. Talk to nature, talk to animals. So that was to me my God. And I remember mentally from the belief systems coming from a very dysfunctional family. I mean, whose family isn't dysfunctional? That's why we're all trying to look for what is love, or where's our tribe? You know, what is our tribe? And where do I belong? So for media, that you're supposed to look this way or be this way. And from your family, you know, if you came from alcoholism or you came from depression in your family or what have you, and you weren't aware of these things as a child growing up, and then all of a sudden you start taking on these characteristics. And so it just fragments us further from our own true selves. And then emotionally, yes, I had eating disorders. I punished myself because I didn't feel I was pretty enough, good enough, or whatever it may be. And although it looked great on the outside, the inside was a total mess. And you know, you just become a perfectionist, type A personality, just running and running and running and running away. And then physically, again, why do you keep tracking the same story over and over again, from abusive relationships to going all the way up to the top, about just about hitting success and then sabotaging yourself because you don't feel that you're worthy enough to have it. So you work so hard to get there, and then something, just when you're about at the peak of the mountain, you hurt yourself because you're told at the core that you are not worthy. So, makes sense? Everybody can kind of relate to that? So those are the 4 questions that I ask everyone who does any type of workshop with me, whether it's men or women, and children. I even work with children. So the SBEM, this year Gender Empowerment Method, that Debbie Norris and Eleni has been helping me with, is proving that it doesn't matter what age you are, that this method is working. And children absolutely embrace this because it's so easy for them, because they haven't been damaged that much yet. So it's easy for them to grasp it and understand it, and they're looking for their tribe. When I say tribe, is that we're all looking for where we belong. There's 3 things that we all need in order to survive. One is you need to find your tribe. Where do you belong? And sometimes it's not your immediate family. And the second one is that you need an elder that you can go and talk to, that you can speak to. So who will feed you constant wisdom and help you grow in your mind about what is right and what is wrong, or what are you feeling, and trusting your instincts and your intuition. You need that wisdom and elder. And as we know in our culture, we don't respect elders. So they're suffering. We're all suffering. And then the third one you need is somebody that you can go to and tell your deepest, darkest secrets, and you know that they will never tell you. Those are the three things every human being needs in order to survive. Those are the three things that in indigenous cultures, that in order for them to survive, they teach you that those are the three things that you need. So when I talk about indigenous cultures, what I'm talking about also is that when I passed over and I died, modern medicine saved my life, but it didn't heal me. It did not heal me. So, of course, they thought that when I came back, I had such a deep understanding and a core strength in me that I knew who I was, I knew where I was going, and I will never, ever not trust my intuition again. And that wasn't acceptable to the typical medical linear thinking. I should have been depressed. I should have been having reactions. I should have been like on the floor just totally distraught, and I wasn't. I was actually happy because I had such clarity. And it was just like, well, it just wasn't meant to be. I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I know what I'm supposed to do. So I had a sense of purpose. And isn't that what we're all kind of looking for, a sense of purpose? And so after this experience, and I found that clarity, I was like, I don't want to do modern medicine in the way that they couldn't answer my questions, so I went out searching. And that's how I ended up moving with indigenous culture. So I went to Peru and worked with Native Americans. And I lived in the ashram of Kripalu. So I mastered my mind and my heart, and working with yoga and understanding it and meditation and quieting my mind. I didn't know how to be silent. And then I was like, but there's still a missing piece because I'm only coming from here to here. What about all this other stuff that's here? And then the native holistic intelligence, native intelligence, is what helped me find that missing piece and then put those two together. So today what I'm going to do is give you some exercises. We're going to go through the 4 bodies. We're going to do some exercises that'll help you understand, what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are. So then you can see that, we always do what we're good at, but we don't want to do what we're not good at. So even just maybe your edge is just being silent and still, maybe you don't know how to do that. Or maybe you're really great at yoga and you're great at an athlete, but again, you don't know how to dissect your thoughts, you're not emotionally intelligent. You're reacting all the time. So these are the things that we're going to just kind of experiment today. So I wanted to discuss about, excuse me a second, with Elaine and the Sierra Bender Empowerment Method. My biggest part of what I teach is righteous anger for women. We have the right to be angry about the injustice that's going on. And what we've done is we've mastered how to be, we've been silenced, but we have not learned how to be silent and listen to our intuition and listen to spirit or whatever that is for you and listen to that God-given gift that you have to move forward and to lead. Most women are scared to lead. And why are we scared to lead as women? I could dissect this all the way down. I don't have time for that. It's fear. Fear of leading because gossip, because you're not good enough, because you don't want to be attacked, because you fear that you're not smart enough. It's all this fear-based to lead. And right now is the time for women to lead. It's our time to lead. And it's not power over. It's to create a change in the world. It's a new leadership. So I wanted to go over some statistics with Elaine and Debbie, beautiful Debbie Norris back here, that she created this measurement for me, this empowerment measurement, because I came here and I did a workshop and she noticed like the change that was coming into when they left in a matter of one day, half a day workshop. And said, Sierra, you really need to measure this, and so she helped me create this. And it is above and beyond what I ever expected. Like, I know that I love to help people and I want to help women because I felt that anger and I didn't want to feel that I was crazy for feeling this anger, or I didn't know what to do with it. And what did? We turn it inside on ourselves, and then it affects our relationships with our children and our partnerships. So it's pretty sad about the statistics that are out there, so I'm going to read some of them. And then how, at this time and age of where we are right now, the natives believe that if you could destroy a village by destroying the women. Destroy the women in the tribe, you've destroyed the whole village. Well, humanity is being destroyed because all women are hurting and are being destroyed. So that's why right now we have to take the lead to heal ourselves, which then we will lead. We will take the lead in helping not only ourselves heal but others. And for men, what I'm going through and what I hear a lot with the men is empowerment actually means pulling forth what's already within you. It's not power over. So a man's definition is different. So when the woman becomes empowered, it's like, oh my God, she's going to be too controlling, it's too much. And I'm like, no. When a woman becomes empowered, she wants to share her love, she wants to share her body, she wants to share her wisdom. It's more expansive. We're at the time to lead when we become more expansive, not penetrating. The penetration is done. The penetration we need at certain times, but it's created too much harm. So as women, we have to become more expansive with this love, not just an emotion, but the most powerful force on this planet, that this is what I will and will not accept. And this is what I will and will not allow into my space. And this is where I will go to that PTA meeting and fight that my child will no longer eat this crap that's causing ADD and all whatever. And not care about it. Yeah, and not care about what others think. Who cares? Because everybody else in the room is still thinking the same thing. And the men have to support the women and say, good job, And the men have to help us stay grounded so, as women, we're not spinning out of our bodies. And so that's where you hold the energy for us. It's just like, honey, I'm just going to hold a space for you. Let her go off in her little It's not about you, but just hold that sacred space. Okay, I'm behind you. I'm here to hold a space for you. So, Eleni has been traveling with me to Kripalu and Omega, and we've done these statistics. And what we've learned is from the empowerment scale is it's broken up into 5 different categories. Self-esteem, power, community, activism, optimism, control over the future, and righteous anger. I have to say, because that's how it all got created. It's like I'm watching all these other women suffering, and I need to do something about it because I just recognized that within myself. And I was really pissed about it. So I was like, how am I going to channel this anger in a healthy way? So, you want to share this with me? Sure. I'll let you read them because when I just found this out, like really, she told me, oh, Sierra, and I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, so we did, it's a little bit long what I'm doing with my study, but we're doing pre and post testing. We're using the empowerment scale, it's a psychologically validated scale to measure what the change is. We measure them before they begin Sierra's workshop, and then we measure them after. And in her one workshop, we found that 87% of the women increased in self-esteem in the empowerment scale. These are 5 subscales that are in the empowerment scale. 93% of women increased in power. 70% of women increased in community activism. 50% of women increased in optimism. And read your favorite.
Yeah. 77% of women increased in righteous anger. Woo! So no longer turning it on yourself, because as we know, depression, the rate of depression is through the roof. Domestic violence is out of control. Eating disorders, out of control. So cutting, out of control. So it's just unacceptable. Unacceptable. So,
was your group just women at random, or were they abused or teens at high risk?
women at random.
Women at random.
50% of the women were the statistic of domestic violence and abuse before the age of 18 in the group. Now these women are like ourselves, they're very well educated, we have a really good house, we come from a good household or what have you. So it's not like, oh my God, this is only happening in the projects or in these places and spaces where we think it all stems from. It's not. And this is where the men have to step in also, is because every man is connected to a woman who is one of these statistics. 1 out of 4 women come from sexual abuse or assault before the age of 18. My study is proving it's 50%. So half of those cases are not getting reported. 90% of the women are abused by someone that they love, that they trust, whether it's a teacher, a father, an uncle, a friend, because it has to have that trust factor in it for them to get away with it. The girls are not reporting it. Women aren't even reporting it. They're coming to boot camp, they're coming to Goddess to the Core, and they've held this for 40 years, and they're not reporting it. So they're getting away with it. And now I'm finding out that this is what's really pissing me off about righteous anger, is I just had the teenage boot camp, half of them came from this statistic already, their parents didn't know, and now the children are coming forward, and they have to personally voice this to the law. If they do not go to the law and personally voice it, they're only 14, 15, 16, then they cannot go after the perpetrator. So if I was to state it, because I was the one that they told at my course, or the mother, she cannot speak for her child. So the perpetrator will get away with it. So the child doesn't have an emotional intelligence. She's petrified to go and report this. That's unacceptable. So with these statistics, what we will be doing is bringing this politically. Hello, this is what's going on. This is what's going on within us, within our culture. You know, so how can we say we've come so far, baby, as women? We haven't. Because we've become more like imitation men, instead of standing in our true feminine essence and saying, this is who I am, I'm a woman, and this is what I bring to the table. Take it or leave it. And the biggest fear women have, again, is being alone. If you don't know how to be alone and love yourself, you're never going to attract the right partner. So let's get over that one really quick right now. Because we're caught and conditioned to think that we need a partner in order to survive. Excuse me. Is that true? Yeah. But why do we follow it? So, exciting news, right? Depressing news, but exciting news, because now we can see where all this anger is coming from and where all this sickness is coming from and how we're going to be able to heal it. So we have places like the Mindfulness Center, we have yoga, we have meditation, we have the tools, but we need to put them into effect. You know, and what I'm also recognizing in this industry, what we also have to be very aware of, is stop being a workshop junkie. You get the information and you need to put it into effect. Because we can't just have it here. We have to show up and be consistent. That's the only way you're going to heal. That's the only way you're going to change cellular memory. So I don't need you to read 50 million different books to learn the same thing. All you need to do is breathe. Where there's breath, there's consciousness. Where there's consciousness, there is love. Love, not just an emotion, but the most powerful force on this planet. So if it's you, if you love to do meditation, and that's what brings you to that place and space, great. If it's yoga, that's what brings you to that space, and great. If it's nature, whatever it is, pick it, stay with it, and make it consistent in your everyday life, because that's the way that you're going to heal. So stop falling into these little traps and thinking that, oh my God, I have to know everything, and that's what women are like. I have to know everything. I have to be so smart because I can't get in front of the class and teach because nobody's going to listen to me. They're going to listen to you from here, not how much knowledge you have. It's how are you emotionally changing people's lives? How are you motivating them? And that's the divine feminine that's now coming forward. It's not about so much what you know. It's about being emotionally intelligent to move people. And that is the divine feminine. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to pick a partner in the room and we're going to start breaking down the exercises. I'm going to break down an exercise for each one of your bodies.
Are you doing this? Are you Of course, we got
allowing, surrendering, observant, and then the male energy is then putting that information into effect. That's the warrior. So when you know there's an injustice, or you know that my intuition is telling me to do something, and then you don't follow it, then you become paralyzed, and then you become a victim, because you're not putting your knowledge into effect. So I'm going to read what is feminine. Let me ask you, what is the definition of feminine? This brings up a lot of emotion.
Receptive.
Receptive. Nurturing. Intuitive.
Emotive.
Emotive.
Internal.
Internal.
Lateral.
Mhm.
Lateral.
Very good.
Obedient.
What?
Obedient.
Ah, emotion behind that. Obedient. Hi. So how you think is how you feel is how you behave is what you will manifest. So we need to pull that weed right there. That's the itty-bitty shitty committee. No, redefine. Redefine. It's that simple. If we just sit down with our thoughts and ask ourselves questions, and be silent and reflect, which is the feminine, then we can get deep enough into, that doesn't work for me anymore. Pull the weed. It's no longer of service to me, which then has a ripple effect. Okay? So I'm going to read some terms of what feminine is. This is in the book. Receptive, fluid, intuitive. Reflective, allowing, flexible, observant, compassionate, persevering, patient, devotion, peaceful, creativity, stillness, silence, rest, intimacy, emotional, graceful, be. And then the opposite is the masculine, protective, linear, decisive, expansive, forceful, unyielding, focused, rational, explosive, driven, freedom, fierce, manifestation, movement, sound, action, self-reliance, intellectual, solid, do. Now, do we not both have this within us? Yes. So why is it in our culture we only use one part of ourselves? We always use more of the warrior or the male aspects of ourselves. So that's even what's happening in our relationships. We as women become so much like men, we're reflecting the male energy in our partner. And you wonder why you're having all these arguments and all this stuff that's going on. Because now you've got, what?
Forcing each other away.
Yeah, you've got two male energies that are just doing this. And so what happened to our female energy? We wonder why we're having a lot of problems, even in our brain. It's throwing off the balance of our brain, which now is throwing off serotonin in our brain, right? Serotonin is a happy drug. So if my brain is always in the linear side, it's too constricting. There's no expansiveness for oxygen to come in. I'm too linear, I'm too focused, I'm too forceful. Okay? So we're going to do an exercise right now that's going to actually show you about how the difference between the male and female energy, trusting my intuition and my instincts. Intuition is feminine, instincts is masculine. What do we think giving is? What is giving? No. It's not. That's codependency, control freaks. That's what we're taught as women, that if I keep giving, I'm being feminine. Receiving is feminine. Giving is masculine. So as women, we're taught to continually give ourselves, which you have to understand that your energy equals time and time equals money. So as much as I give, I have to be able to take in just as much. And so the receiving end is really hard because you never know what's coming, right? So it's really hard to be open. But what we do as women, we're too open. We have no filters. And we take on everything. We take on the burdens of the world. We take on all our children's stuff, all our partner's stuff. And then we wonder why we're carrying all these burdens and we get so heavy, and then our head's spinning, we get migraine headaches, the jaw's really tight, there's no serotonin in the brain, and you're spinning. And now we have depression and we have all these other new diseases that they're coming up with. PMS to this and another initial and what have you. And it's just that we're not balanced. So this exercise, I'm going to have you face each other. And your left hand is up and your right hand is down. So this is basic 101. You're going to come closer together. Good. So, if you have a blanket, if your hips, you want your knees below of your hips. What does this do? It opens up the diaphragm. And it allows oxygen to come into your body. 3.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at it.
So you're going to touch each other's hands. You're going to hold each other's hands. This is a basic 101 tantric exercise, okay? And we are downloading information all the time. We're just not listening to it. So we're going to stare into each other's eyes. This is called soul searching. Now, of course, in the beginning, it seems a little bit threatening because you're like, oh my God, you're in my space. So the instincts come out to protect yourself or what have you. So as I stare into my partner's eyes, we're going to do this for 5 minutes in silence. Don't talk. Just receive. On both ends, you're just going to receive. Be open. Trust. And breathe. Breathe in and out through your nostrils only. Feel the rhythm and flow of your breath. The more I can bring oxygen into my body, the more my intuition awakens. Pituitary and the pineal gland open. It bounces my hormones. It gives me information. Sixth sense. partners. Don't hold back. that the left eye is really heavy. It's like I'm really sad because I'm not living my purpose, or I'm not in a healthy situation right now, or I'm not taking care of myself, what have you. The left eye will actually look heavy. When you see a person who's really balanced and very happy and has a lot of vitality, their eyes glow. They actually glisten. Do you ever see that? That's like the beauty of a beautiful woman being that, oh my God, they're just smiling through their eyes and they're very present. And this is like contagious. You want to be in their space, you want to be in their energy, right? So the eyes have a lot to tell us. So when you're looking into your partner's eyes and you were downloading information, the right eye is taking it one way, like, wait a minute, you're in my space, I really don't want to show you who I am because I feel really vulnerable, right? So that's the personality and the fight or flight response, the ego. And then the left eye is kind of like, yeah, but I really want to feel connected. And you may have even started crying because you've never been so close or one-on-one with someone. Somebody's actually seeing me. And it could be really vulnerable. And so people start to cry because I've never been this intimate with someone. Intimate means what? See me to me. I see it to me. So when you're doing this exercise, all of your senses are awakened. Do you feel that? I'm like, okay, maybe I'm seeing some color around her head, or I'm seeing, I don't know what I'm seeing, but something. You know, you could go deep enough to even seeing the person in other lifetimes. But it's not your imagination, because it's not just who I am in this physical form. You're reading the person's soul, you're reading the person's spirit. So when you see Native Americans, you see indigenous people, you see even the yogis, why do you think you're doing this? I honor, I see the light within you. I honor, I see the light within you. We look right into their eyes that I'm one. You are me, I am you. I am God, God is I. We are all one. And so I'm honoring that within you. Most of us don't even look into each other's eyes. Like, what the heck's wrong with you? You know, you walk down the street in the city, we never have that kind of free time. All the emotional armor. Okay? So how are we going to attract love, or how are we going to create this intimacy or this tribal energy if we're not even present in our bodies? So when you were doing this with each other, you were present for each other. Yes? You were present for each other. Isn't that a really nice feeling? And you were open, and you were receptive, and you were allowing. And then as soon as the ego voice came in, which brings in fear or doubt, it's like, okay, wait a minute, she's getting a little bit in there too much, or I'm going to shut down right now. So this is a really healthy exercise to do with your partners, and especially with your partner, male partner, because you know, it's too much information for him when you ask him, how are you feeling? What's going on? Like, just sit down with them and teach them. They want to learn, but we don't know how to do this. They're never going to learn. They're at that space and place. I'm speaking for you, gentlemen. I don't know if I'm correct, but this is what I hear a lot, is they want to learn. They don't want to be told what to do. They're not children. Yes? No? Okay. Yay? You're amongst all these women, you're like, I don't want to say. But anyway, so would anyone like to share their experience of what they saw or what they felt? Briefly? It's not your imagination. Did you see a headdress? Did you see the woman look really old and she looked really young? Oh my God, I felt this happiness, this compassion.
I just, one of my divine elders passed last night.
Oh.
That it was a safe person to tell anything to. And I was, this is just my, to invite in that love. And to stare in someone's eyes that you don't know is uncomfortable, it's weird. But to hold that, the love that she taught me, to hold that space and honor her in that space. And if I can translate and I'll translate that safe place.
I have a story that brings that up. Two women were doing this, and they shared afterwards, and here's an example of what I'm talking about. She said, I just kept seeing these beautiful clouds in your eyes, and I didn't know what it was. And the woman starts to stare at the crying. I'm like, oh my God, what did I say? What did I do? So my father just passed away and told me, anytime you want to see me, honey, I'm always protect you, I'm always over, just look up and look into the clouds. Did that mean anything to you? No, but you were reading the person's soul, you were reading the person's information. So again, it may have not meant anything to you, but it's the way that spirit talks to us and through us, so that we again create this intimacy. And it's not your imagination, it's not your intuition. A strong and healthy ego will act support your intuition. A non-healthy ego will not support your intuition. It will create confusion. It will create cloudiness, and that's where we're all at right now. It's like, I don't know what to do, and then we become paralyzed by it. Because when you trust your intuition, you never know what's on the other side. Because what are the muscles of the spiritual body? Faith, hope, trust. What we want is always, we want to know what's 10 steps ahead of us. So here's an example of what I'm talking about, trusting your intuition. One day you're walking down the street or you're running, right? You're running every morning, you do the same dang thing, because we're so conditioned, and you're like, okay, I'm running in Central Park, I go the same trail, the same way, because I can stay in control. You're running down there, all of a sudden your intuition says, don't go that way, go the opposite direction. And the ego goes, well, that doesn't make sense, it's not possible. But the intuition keeps saying, please, do not go this way, I need you to go that way. And all of a sudden, this is a true story. And then all of a sudden, this person, she runs in another path. And she runs into who? Her partner, her future partner. That's how strong our intuition is. You're driving home. And you're driving home, and all of a sudden, the intuition comes in and says, don't go that way, you need to go this way. And you're like, well, that doesn't make sense again, it's not practical. But you can't see what's up 5 miles from you, can you? No. You're driving home with a car, you don't know what's going on 5 miles ahead of you. Your intuition says, don't go, get off this exit. And again, the ego goes, no, I'm going this way. All of a sudden, 5 minutes later, you're driving up the street 2 miles up, and there's a huge accident, and you're stuck in traffic for 2 hours or whatever, a half hour. Because you didn't trust your intuition. So when you trust your intuition, you save time, you save what? Energy, and then you save money at the end of the day, because your energy equals time and time equals money. And this is where we are failing ourselves, because we're not listening, we're not paying attention, which creates more chaos, and chaos creates what? More karma. So we're just tying our energy up. Makes sense? So this is how important this one little exercise is. So even when I go into a business meeting or whatever, I always want to see the person, because it's like data. Okay, what's coming out of that person's mouth is not the same as what's going on with their body language. Do I believe them? No. It sounds really great, it sounds practical, but my intuition is saying don't trust it, because in the long run it's just tying up the energy. Does it make sense? You know when you first meet the man that you go out on, or the woman that you date, and you know, oh my God, I know this is the one or this is not the one. And so women are conditioned to fall in love with the potential of the man, not the reality of who he is at this time. Conditioned to do that. So you knew it when you first had your first date, you saw him or whatever, and you said, nope, I shouldn't do this, but you fell in love with the practicality of how you're going to change him, and how this is going to be wonderful, and the whole prince and princess thing, and then all of a sudden you got your energy tied up in a marriage, and now you have 3 kids, and you're going through a divorce, and you're like, what the heck just happened to my life? When your intuition told you the first day you ran into him or her. And then you take all this time, and it's like, come on, you already knew it. It's like, go back. We have to slow down in order to catch up. We have to slow down in order to catch up. Go down to the basics. When I breathe, my intuition is more awakened. When I breathe, I bring more serotonin into my brain. Where there's breath, there's consciousness. Where there's consciousness, there's love. Love not only is emotion, but the most powerful force. So does anybody want to share about their experience about seeing maybe something or...
When I was looking into Mary's eyes, after a few minutes, I felt like a very, very deep connection, like maybe past life, or that we had been together, we had known each other at another time, and I felt a lot of compassion, I felt a lot of love, and then I saw her as a much younger version of herself, and then, just kind of went back and forth.
So you felt a beautiful connection, and so is that someone that you want to bring into your life? Yeah. So
and you know what I also felt was I felt like her opening her arms to embrace, which, was very sweet to see.
Nice. So a lot of times we have lunch with our girlfriends or our friends, we're not even paying attention when we're listening. Or we vent to each other. Yeah, okay. And all we did was take on their burdens and all on their stuff. And all we're doing is we're not being emotionally responsible for our own stuff. We just keep projecting it and projecting it and projecting it. And you wonder why the energy in the world is so whacked. And then when you go into nature, you go into these expansive places, your intuition naturally happens. And you sit underneath the tree or whatever, it's like, oh my God, I can breathe. Because there's more space what in nature has the most prana, the most life force of all, the most powerful force on this planet is nature, right? So the more I sit in nature, and the more that I practice using my intuition, the more serotonin gets released into my brain, the more I will not have these illnesses that are coming up in mental health. It's that simple. So, you know, I'm living proof of it from the statistics that I've lived through. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and try to study what's wrong with me. I know what's wrong with me. I just need tools to fix it. So where are the tools? I don't want to sit in therapy for 2 hours and talk about it. I feel like I'm going through mental gymnastics right now. I know I'm whacked. I know my parents are whacked. I know all this information, and I realize we have to go back to the story to kind of bring up some of the emotions, but I don't want to be stuck in the story. So it's like, take the information and then bring it into movement. So when we go to therapy and your therapist tells you to do something or go to a workshop or whatever, then do it. You know, and then the therapy, what's happening in the mental, you know, and you know, all these healers and all these people that are in this field, they're getting burnt out. Why are we getting burnt out? Yeah, we don't have a filter. This is what's happened to you. It's not my responsibility to carry this for you. And we don't have filters. We are a very codependent culture, and what we do is keep taking on other people's stuff, and then we want to feel better about ourselves to solve other people's problems. And I just went to a workshop at Omega about living well with cancer. A lot of people who do what I do, presenters, have cancer. And why are they? Why? They're taking on people's stuff, and that's what's going on in the medical field with nurses and moms and people who are just overloaded because we don't have a filter. We don't know how to say, this is not my stuff. Okay, that's, you know. So I'm going to ask you to stand up, and this is what I'm going to give you an example of. So, you know, as a culture, we've mastered materialism, we've mastered, you know, oh God, we're the most intelligent. But we haven't mastered kindness, and we haven't mastered how to love ourselves at all. And we're looking for that spiritual connection. Okay, so I'm going to ask you if you would stand in anatomical position. So your body language has everything to say to people. It's just natural behavior. It's power over. As human beings, it's the animalistic part of us. We want to power over each other. It's constantly happening. So as I stand in anatomical position, which means the crown of my head faces up towards the sky. By lifting the crown of my head up towards the sky, I just opened up my diaphragm, which brings more oxygen into my body. Which brings more oxygen into my brain, which now opens up my senses, my intuition, and my instincts. Good. Squeezing the shoulder blades slightly, I open up my heart. This is my healing consciousness, Christ consciousness, as they're calling it now in the yoga world. This is my healing consciousness. I have the power to heal myself. Through love, again, not just an emotion, but the most powerful force on this planet. And where do I find that love? Where is it? It's in nature, it's in humanity, it's in our food, it's all over. Okay? And then my tailbone is facing down towards the ground. That I have this Mother Earth consciousness. I am not here just to take up space. I'm here to claim my space. I'm here to be of service. How can I be of best service to you, Spirit? What are the God-given gifts that you've been given, and are you using them? Or we're so conditioned to go to school again, and we're not using all of the gifts that we have, and how do I weave them together with my practical job and life? That's what we're all searching right now. Okay, so as I stand in anatomical position, close your eyes, and now just breathe. Breathe in and out through your nostrils only. You're only supposed to breathe in and out through your nostrils only. Why do you think you have air in your nostrils? It keeps out the toxins. When I breathe in and out through my nostrils, it also forces me to use my lung capacity. My lungs end at the very top of my shoulders. Most people only breathe from their belly down, which puts their fight or flight response in constant reaction. When I breathe into my heart, oh my God, I have to feel. Oh! I have to feel my emotions. Emotions means energy and movement, motivation. When I breathe into my heart, I feel my emotions, and that means I have to be responsible for my emotions. If I have to be responsible to feel my emotions, then that means I have to make new decisions in my life. If I have to make new decisions in my life, then that means I have to move that means maybe I have to leave the job that's no longer of service to me, or the relationship, or what have you. This is why we don't breathe, because again, this breath is bringing us information. It's awakening our higher selves. It's awakening our intuition. Now everyone, you move your body weight forward. And tell me how you feel right now. It's not an intellectual process. Tell me how you feel. What's going on in your body right now? Off balance, yep. What else? There's no right or wrong. It's what you feel. Fall, you're gonna fall. What else? Fear, uneasy, feel friction, tension, constricted. Where are you feeling it?
Distracted.
Distracted, you're feeling it in your chest. How about your neck? Can you turn your head too easily here? Shoulders, neck. Can you turn your head here? No, it's not very easy here. Good. What about the back of your knees or your thighs or your feet? Are you grabbing the mat with your toes? Yeah. Okay. Feel. Why is it taking that long to feel? That's telling me how out of your body you are right now. You're intellectualizing how you feel. Good. Now slowly come back to the center. What just happened? Balance. Balance. What else? You took a deep breath. When you were here, you felt what? Friction, constricted. Good. Good. Shallow breaths. Very good. When I come here, I take a nice big breath down backwards. What just happened? Where do you feel it? Here. Fear. Grounded. Hard to breathe. Constricted again. Where are you feeling this in your body? Lower back. Lower back. Neck. Good. Okay, great. Now come back. So what happened? Is there any pain here? No. So when I stand in my core and I stand in my true authentic self, I can breathe and I feel no pain. This is what power is. That's what we're looking for. If I knew what power was, then I knew when I would be giving it away. I'm giving my power away here, and I'm giving my power away here. If I'm constantly here, I'm a control freak. I have no peripheral vision. I can't move my neck. I'm too linear. It creates, the jaw starts to tighten. I start to get headaches. I come from a place of fear, and I'm reacting. Yes, we need to stay in this place sometimes. This is more the masculine energy, linear. I need to get this done. Okay, but if I consistently stay here, it's going to create a lot of pain, right? So now I come back here, and I'm like, oh, I can take a nice deep breath. And then I come back here, this is women. I don't have that kind of free time to deal with my emotions. I got to go pick up the kids. I got to go, what have you. I totally deny my whole feminine essence because I don't feel. I am just a robot. And then I need 5 Starbucks to get to here, and another 5 to get to here. And then you're wondering why your adrenals and your kidneys and why you have no vitality, you have no sexual urge. You're just basically a part of you is dying every day, and that's where your spirit is suffering. That's where we're suffering. So when I'm here and I come back here, it's like, wow, all of a sudden all of my senses are heightened. Okay? The crown of my head is up towards the sky, opening my diaphragm. My heart is open. I trust what I will not allow in my space. Because I'm listening to my intuition and my instincts. So when I come to this person, I don't want to be in that person's energy because I can feel it's not healthy for me. It's not creating a judgment, this is good or bad. Is this healthy for me or not healthy for me? So what is going to awaken my energy and make my energy feel more alive and vital? Or what is going to dampen it? What's going to hurt? Think about it. You go into a family function, you better be prepared, right? Some of us? So right away, there it goes. Your energy, your body language is going to go with it. Because you're already like this, on edge. But if I go in and go, I trust my intuition, and I love myself so much that I will not allow anyone or anything to disturb my peace of mind. That's power. I know what's going to happen when I walk in. Aunt so-and-so is going to create a problem with my mom or whomever. You know that going in, or even into the relationship, you're so conditioned of the same fight or the same way or the same. Change the story. Change the actors and actresses. Is it feeding you or not feeding you? So when I'm here, when I walk, most people are not even aware of their body language. They're like, whatever, teenager, Women are just like this. They can't even look in your eyes. they're not flowing, they're kind of like shy, hiding their body language when they walk down the street. Why are you not like this? I claim my space. This is my space. This is like the goddess energy. When I say the goddess energy, this is the divine feminine. You know, I am soft and feminine, I'm open, and I'm approachable, but at the same time, I know how to protect myself. I know what I will and will not accept. But what we do, we're like this. We're leading with our hearts. We're like, here, just take a piece of me. You wonder why breast cancer is so high, because every illness has an emotional profile. Codependency is for breast cancer. And we're giving ourselves away too freely, and we have no energy to save for ourselves, which is where our breasts sit on what? Our immune system. I have to stay in this alignment all day long, even if I'm behind driving or I'm behind the desk. Check in. These are your check-in points. You check in for your oil, right? For your car. What about you? Check in on your vitality. Am I bringing oxygen in? Am I feeling a little bit low? What do I need to raise my frequency, to bring more oxygen into my body? Do I need to go sit outside in the sunlight for 5 minutes because my employees are driving me crazy? You know, what is it that's going to feed you? So when we walk, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to claim your space, just your body language says, this is my space. And somebody will know right away, can I come? Oh, I want to come towards that person. And the person will actually feel like, okay, wait a minute, there's something here that I have to ask first before I come into that person's space. Yes? Understand? So body language tells you a lot, so your instincts. So for instance, if you come from a very dysfunctional family, and you're very intuitive, because why? I know I am. Because it was a matter of survival. Survival, right? I had to know, is mommy and daddy in a good mood? Is this one in blah, 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 you know? And not that I came from a very abusive background, but it was total chaos. 4 kids, and you know, you need your needs met, and it's like a survival. And so I walk into the house, and I'm like, okay, mom's not in a good mood. I can see by her facial expressions, I can see by her body language, or my dad, or what have you. And I'm like, okay. It's like now I learned, but now how do I use that in a positive way? How do I use that? Because that's what makes me really good at helping other people, because I'm reading their body language and I'm listening to their words and the tone of their voice, their facial expressions, and now I know how to help them. Right?
Yeah.
So also when you're codependent, you're trying to think 5 steps ahead. Because you want to create a problem from happening, right? Okay, projection, you project, which creates more chaos, which creates more drama. Can I just be in the present moment and trust what's going to happen at that moment in time? Yes?
Hard to do.
Very hard to do. When you have what? When you have the other, but we just need to recondition. So when I catch myself in that moment, if you can catch yourself 3 times a day, that's huge. You will change the outcome of your future. So when I feel the emotion of, oh my God, here, I'll give you a personal experience. Oh my God, Sierra Better Empowerment, what? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm so used to fighting. I'm so used to like this. Because I'm a warrior, and I know that about myself. And I'm like, I am going to break through this, you know? Like, this is the warrior that comes out of me and says, I will not stop because I need the justice. Not only for myself or other women. So I won't back down, so I just kind of hit in between the eyebrows, like, give a piece of fact or a piece of information, then walk away. And let it sit. Let the person integrate that. Because you're bringing up something in them. And what we try to do is, and you want your answer fast. No, this is the divine feminine and how it works with love, and men can work it also. Give a piece of information, then walk away. Let them sit with it, let them integrate, and it's going to create a space. This is expansiveness. It's going to create a space for conversation. Let them go through their own emotional baggage. And when they're ready, they come to you, and then you have a beautiful conversation. And then you know how to steer the energy. Am I making sense? What you do, codependency behavior, is I want to know the answer now. Because you're trying to protect yourself. Which now you're creating exactly what you don't want, separation. Yes? Men? Yes? Because I like hearing from the men, and I'm really happy you guys are here. So, this is all about your body language also, and remaining in my core. I can give love very freely because it moves to me and through me, because I am able be in alignment with this most powerful force. This is the beautiful part of being a woman. We can shapeshift into many different forms, and we have the ability to tap into it so easily, and we're not using it, we're not accessing it, and that is our core power. And then knowing how to use it gently, because it's powerful. You know, like think of water, it's the most powerful element in the world. It'll break through steel, and that's what you're doing. You're like, okay, I'm gonna bring this awareness, and then I'm gonna walk away. And then I'm gonna bring it in, and I'm gonna walk away. I'm not gonna lead over and keep penetrating. Yes? It's gonna save you a lot of time, energy, and emotions. Okay? We own that power, and we have to stand in that power and stop resenting our children and the men. You can't resent them. You have to step up to the plate and say, I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to lead. Because if you don't, that's where your suffering is going to happen. More suffering is going to happen. Have you not seen that already? Yeah, because you back away from it. Or on the other end, they get angry at you because, whatever, I'm leaving this situation because I don't deserve to be treated in this manner. Bye. Let them dissect and integrate their own emotional baggage, because what you're doing is the divine feminine does what? It reflects light, like the moon. It illuminates. It creates an awakening. It reflects so much beauty and so much light. Sometimes it's so blinding people can't handle it. And then what do? What does that person do?
Turn away.
Turn away. What else do they do?
Wash.
Squash it, turn it off, turn it down, try to get away from it as fast as possible. And then you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Or what am I doing wrong? Or this is hurting, and then you get hurt because you're like, what did I do? Because I'm not receiving love on the other side. Change your perception and say, wow, I've got so much of this beauty and so much of this divine light that I have to be able to work with this gentle enough, because they're not seeing that within themselves. So what are you doing? You're bringing up pain in that person because they're not at that space or place yet to recognize that they don't know what that is or what it feels like. So it actually hurts somebody. You're hurting somebody, or your expectations of them to move faster through their addiction or through their problem or whatever. You're hurting them. Your presence just hurts them. Get it? And then, so what do? We need to learn how to hold a sacred space. I'm not going to get in there and fight with you about this or do the work for you. I'm going to stay right here in my core, let the dance begin all around me. I hold this beautiful intention for you. I hold this beautiful prayer for you. And by me respecting myself and standing in my own core, they start to realize boundaries, healthy boundaries. And now you're teaching your child or your partner healthy boundaries. And then that creates intimacy. They want to learn. Make sense? So that's where we need to be as women, to lead. And we're not doing that. We're being more like men. And when you go to your guy, don't go to him, you need to vent and do all that emotional baggage, the burdens that you took on from the world and your children or whatever. You need to go do that with your girlfriends and go for a walk and go do that. And then come present in front of your man and say, I'm 100 words or less. This is what I need from you. This is what I desire, require, and deserve from you. And if he's not willing to do it, then you got your answer. Then you start to compromise. You start to, like a business deal, right? Got it? Are we all smart enough to get that? Yeah. Because we want to keep trying to change them to be more like us. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So stop it. So I'm going to stand in my core. This is who I am. I know how to love myself. I know how to be with myself. And I will attract that love because I am that love. And then the male energy, the goddess, loves the feminine divine energy. That's why, like after boot camp and all the workshops, right, the men are like, oh my God, it's like just lofting in the air because they feel that you're so open and receptive and feminine. The more feminine you are, the more masculine they become. So that's where we're hurting as women. So I want you to please, I ask you, I invite you to please stand in this core with me. And when I stand in this core, I'm feminine, I'm open, yet I'm protected at the same time. I know what I will not allow in my space. So let's come into an exercise. You're going to bring your arms up over your head. So this exercise is great for the emotional body. It's called the hara. So I'm going to bring universal energy from above. I'm going to pull it down into my belly button. So So the belly button is where all the nerve endings to every organ, gland, and system meet. So this is radar. Just like I have my intuition, this is my instincts. Okay. So as I bring the abundance of the universe, all this vitality into my belly button. Okay, divine consciousness. Now I bring Mother Earth consciousness from below. We're always going up. Let's go down. We've got just as much abundance and life force below us. So as I pull in the Mother Earth consciousness below. Good. And if you had to visualize Mother Earth consciousness, what do you think she would feel like, look like, taste like, sound like? You think of white light, right? It's radiant, it's pure, it's alluring, it's illuminating.
Grounded.
Grounded. So what does this energy feel like, look like, sense like, taste like? Think of honey. Think of Mother Earth. The color of gold. It's abundant. It's fertile. It's ooey, it's gooey, it's sensual, it's sexual, it's filled with nutrients. Think of gold, all the queens and goddesses and all the royalty were gold. It's also a mineral. It brings a lot of vitality. It's healing. So I'm going to bring in all this gold, I'm going to pull it up, I'm going to bring it to my belly button. Good, and then we're going to unite both forces together. Okay? Male, female, spiritual being, human being, goddess, warrior. Are you ready? So it sounds, it looks like this. Good. All right, so girls, I don't want to hear ha! Come from here, I want to hear it from here, your core. Your core. All the way down here. And if you did this long enough, you'd start crying because it brings up all the emotions and all the primal energy of anger. Okay? Really use it. You ready? We're going to do 10. You ready? In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 of you is the giver, 1 of you is the receiver. Pick one Who wants to do what first? Good. Next. Fantastic. Don't be too close to another partner, another set of people, because we're going to put our arms out. So make sure you're that far apart from each other. Good. Okay, so now the person who's going to do the posture is the giver. The person who's the receiver, just stand in anatomical position and receive. Receive. And are you a good receiver? Do you know how just to be and receive? So those of you who are doing the mountain posture, bring your arms to the side of your body. So as you check in about your alignment. The crown of my head faces up towards the sky. Everybody, arms are down at your side. We're doing the postures. Arms down. Good. Just listen. Listen. Crown of your head faces up towards the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades slightly. Your heart is open. Press the four corners of your feet down into the floor like Velcro. Your feet should be hip-width apart. Beautiful. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Your feet have a lot to tell you. Good. Now, lengthen out through your fingertips. Who are the givers? Givers, follow me. So those, the givers, are the ones who are doing the mountain posture. Now, as you lift the earth up into you, think of your thighs, your legs as the base of the mountain, stability. The mountain never moves. Good, so you bring your arms up. And holding it here, lengthen out through the fingertips, stare into your partner's eyes and breathe. Breathe in and out through your nostrils only. And place your palms up towards the sky as we come into our heart, the consciousness of our heart, our healing consciousness. Good. The shoulders automatically dropped as soon as I opened up my heart. Just keep looking into each other's eyes and breathe. Can I bring my breath all the way up to my shoulders, both of you, the giver and the receiver? Fabulous. Now come to the peak of your mountain. As I go up towards the sky, can I stay fully present in my body? Stay anchored. Tailbone is down. Feet are in the floor. Visualize roots coming out of your feet. You're so connected to the earth. Fabulous. Elbows are straight. If you can get the elbows straight, then separate your arms. Lengthen out through those fingertips. Tailbone is down. Did it go up and out? That's telling me you went out of your body. As soon as you start to do spiritual work, you go whoop, right out of your body. And I stay firmly planted in my physical being as I go up towards the sky, towards spirit. Good. Now breathe. Just look into each other's eyes. Full big breaths. Back off the ego. Soften the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. It's not about being perfect in the posture. And breathe. Relax the eyebrows, everybody. Relax the jaw. Feel a little bit of friction and resistance in those neck and shoulders. Breathe into them. This is where we hold our burdens. Now slowly come up a little bit higher. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Great. Now slowly as you open, you're going to bring your arms down. Lengthen out through the fingers. Bring the arms down only to the heart level. Look into your partner's eyes. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. You feel the energy already moving to you and through you. Nice. Then take your palms, face them down towards the earth as you ground all this wonderful prana, this life force, this healing consciousness as you bring it down. And then place your hands wherever you feel your partner needs healing. Don't think about it. Just put your hands on their body. Wherever you feel they need healing. Come out of your space. And receivers, breathe into their hands. Breathe into their hands. Breathe into their hands all this love, this consciousness. And can you receive it? You may need two places. You may feel, trust your intuition, follow your intuition. mind comes in, the intellectual. Stop. Fantastic. Now staying in this energy, we're going to shift. So now the giver becomes the receiver. The receiver becomes the giver. So people who are the giver is coming into the mountain posture. Your feet are firmly planted onto the ground, into your mat. Visualize roots coming out of your feet, connected to the earth. Four corners of the feet like Velcro. Good. Open up the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades slightly, lift the crown of the head up towards the sky, opening up the diaphragm and allowing oxygen to come in. Our intuition, our higher self. Good. So as you lengthen out through your fingertips, you're going to lift the earth up into you. All this prana, all this life force. Visualize that beautiful honey golden. The palms are still facing down. So this is the animalistic part of ourselves, our instincts. This is who I am. This is what I stand in. These are my morals, my beliefs. I'm like a mountain. The mountain never moves. Now the palms face up towards the sky. As I look into my partner's eyes, just breathe. And receivers, can you receive? Nope, don't bring the arms up yet. Just stay there. Be one with your partner. Just breathe. Relax the neck and shoulders. Open up the heart even more. Get rid of that emotional armor. Get out of your muscles and your bones. Just stay with your breath. Good. And now slowly come to the peak of your mountain. As I lift, keep the tailbone facing down towards the ground. Don't go out of your body. Good. As I lift all the way up towards the sky, to the true potential, peak of your mountain. As you breathe, staring into your partner's eyes, breathe in and out through your nostrils only. Holding it there, can I be present with my partner? Am I able to receive this? And givers, your presence is just enough. Don't go overboard with too much giving. And now lengthen, lengthen, lengthen all the way up to the top as high as you can. Opening up that heart even more. Tailbone is down. Good. And as I slowly open, as I bring my arms down, I bring, staring into my partner's eyes. My heart is totally open. Lengthen out to the fingertips. Bring the palms down, facing down towards the ground as you ground all this wonderful prana and life force as this energy moves to you and through you. And then place your hands on your partner if you feel they need healing. And just receive. Don't think about it, just receive. Receivers, just take it in and breathe. Breathe. Watch how your breath stops, your actions stop yourself from receiving. Take it all in. This is so yummy. Healing energy, your divine feminine energy. Stop thinking of feminine as just being woman. Men, feminine is not just woman, open, allowing, being, surrendering, letting go, reflective, observant. How do we use this? Okay, women, we're doing this all the time naturally, but we're not recognizing the power. And we're doing it a little bit too freely that we're becoming burnt out. Because we're willing it instead of just allowing our bodies to open and allow it to move to us and through us. The same with the men. This energy moves to me and through me, but first I have to learn how to access it. So again, I'm in my core. As soon as my head up towards this, why are you doing yoga? Me? No, I'm saying, why are you doing yoga? This is what yoga is all about. Unity, big that. Why are we doing yoga? Okay, even yoga has turned more to the practical linear. It's all about a workout. Let's get cut. Let's a great yoga class has 15 minutes of breath work before you even start. You may even sing and do where you're bringing the tribal energy, the consciousness together, right? And then we go into our yoga posture. You should be sitting in your little yoga posture long enough so that's affecting the cellular memory. We're just keep moving, moving, moving. You know, power yoga was invented for young men for their hormones because they had so much fire. But they had to get the fire moving because if they didn't get the fire moving, they got into trouble. Same thing with the Native Americans. All the men work with the fire. If they don't know how to learn how to harness their fire, their anger, they're going to get burnt by it. And that's exactly why domestic violence and all that is very high. They're not being taught how to harness their testosterone. And then we're telling them that they're not allowed to have emotion. Oh, what are they supposed to do with all this? So we women are all going to all these power yoga classes, but it's also throwing off your hormones because it's too much fire, especially if you're in menopausal years, or even menopausal. Too much fire. So we have to offset it with more the healing and the feminine aspects of yoga, which this is the part. Breathing, silence, stillness, medical aspects of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it's affecting you. Okay? That's why you're here at the Mindful Center. That's why this whole event is happening. We have to bring balance even to the medicine. So what you were just doing was, one is you're tapping in and accessing this divine feminine energy, source, creator, whatever it is to you, you have your own interpretation. But you know it's there. So I tap into it first. Then it has to move to me and through me. By just going up to a person and saying, hi, how was your day today? Oh, and looking into their eye, you're just healing them. Your presence is enough just by being present with them. So first, every morning I want to tap into this energy, and it sets the course of my day. I'm like a magnet. I attract what I need because I'm open to attract it. But if I don't know what I desire, require, deserve, I'm not attracting it. I'm actually repelling it because I'm not open to receive it. So this exercise, what you're doing is one, I invite you to do the mountain posture every day before you walk out the door. I want you to look into the mirror. Where are my eyes? Right eye, left eye. Am I more reactive today because my adrenal glands are in overload? Or am I glowing? Do I have my beautiful glow? What is going on with my body? Where am I? Am I present or not present? Okay. I do the mountain posture. I don't need to do this with another partner. I can do this with myself. The reason why I had to do it with another partner was when you went to that person and you said, I don't know why, but my instincts, my holistic and native intelligence is telling me to put my hand right here. Why do you think your hand is going there on that person that you just were working with? Yeah, what else?
Your energy would block somewhere?
Yes, very good. What else? Get your head out of the way. Your intuition. So your intuition is spirits working to you and through you. So spirit's telling you, your intuition is saying, this person is not vibrating near their true potential. They're not working to their true potential. Okay, so that's where it's happening spiritually. Mentally, this is where they're holding their karma, and emotionally. There's something going on here that this is where their karma is held. So karma means that there's not enough blood flow and oxygen. The emotions are stuck there. It's this simple. The emotions are stuck there. So this is where I'm holding a lot of my stuff. So now there's less blood flow and oxygen in this space, in this area, physically. And now it's connected to, like, I'm just using you as an example, it's connected to her neck, and what's connected in the neck here? Her thyroid and her parathyroid. Then you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, I have osteoporosis. Right? So simple. Well, of course you do. There's not enough oxygen and blood flow in that organ, gland, or tissue, so of course there's not enough. And this is a major cause of cancer also. There's not enough oxygen. Where there's oxygen, bacteria can't live. Where there's oxygen, there's vitality. Where there's oxygen, there's consciousness. Where there's oxygen, you have more of a sexual vitality, sensual vitality. 50% of women have never had an orgasm in our country. Yeah, okay. So we're not even in our bodies to enjoy our bodies, so come on. You know, so oxygen brings all these things to the table for healing. That's it, it's that simple. It's that simple. So now you, as the giver, when you were touching this person, did you go into their energy and into their pain? First you recognize it, right? And what codependency is not only am I recognizing, I'm going into it. I'm feeling it too much. Everybody making sense? Am I making sense? Whoa, no. I want to be able to hold the space. I recognize it's there, but I'm not getting into that energy. Okay, so I'm just allowing the energy to move to me and through me. That's it. I'm not getting in there. My mind is not going to get in there to help them heal. Here's a great book to read. Here's a great course you need to go take. You are the person who's there to support them and hold a sacred space, so you're still holding your core. You will not go out of that core. So that's where we have to learn as being in the healing industry, doing this, what you're doing, and just your presence walking around is helping other people heal. And all women want to help others. All want to help others, but we're not helping each other because we're coming to the table damaged, too damaged, and then we're projecting it all on top of each other, so nobody's really getting anything done. Am I making sense? So this is the part where, for the women, this is the part where helping you learn to understand how to be a leader and how to be a healer. And you don't have to, be a healer like, oh my God, I have to go to all these courses and be a healer. It's your intention, it's the divine feminine putting it into action now. And then for the men, it's the same thing. You're using your intuition all the time in business. You're doing it all the time. Your intuition and your instincts, they're on all the time. And as women, sometimes we have to trust them also because they also have it too. And what we're not listening to when we're on our own intuition, then it creates more chaos and more drama in our lives. Yes? Am I making sense? Okay, good. So I'd like to can I do one more thing with you and call it a day? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You're going to get on the floor. And I'm going to ask you to come onto your belly. I'm going to ask you to come into the Sphinx. Do we all know what the Sphinx is? So the Sphinx is that my shoulder and my elbow are directly in line with each other. So it's underneath. Very good. Very good. I'm going to spread my fingers as wide as I can. The fight or flight response sits in the palm of the hands. Good. Now, relax the pelvic into the floor. Separate your feet. The toes should be turned in and the heels are out. That actually opens up the pelvic floor. Good. So now, bringing my chin down towards my chest and just breathe. Feel your body on the mat. Where are you right now? Don't come into the posture right now. Just recognize where your body is right now. Okay, so toes are turned in, heels are out. Relax the buttocks, relax the thighs. Good. Now push into your elbows, push into the palm of your hands, and just lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. And what just engaged in your body? Where are you feeling this in your body? Heart center, we're out. Back, lower back. Right now you're squeezing your adrenals and your kidneys. Now take 5 big breaths. Why 5 big breaths? 5 big breaths is 30 seconds. Why 30 seconds of 5 big breaths? Because this is how we reprogram cellular memory. You should hold your postures if you want to use your yoga for healing, not just a workout. Hold those postures at least 30 seconds, 5 big breaths. Breathe. So now you're bringing in all this fresh blood flow and oxygen into the kidneys, lower back, and the adrenals that sit right above them. So if you have insomnia, you know you have ADD, you know you have a type A personality, just by doing this for 30 seconds is reprogramming your nervous system, your fight or flight response. This is it. Perfect. This is how simple it is. I've worked with many children in domestic violence who were beaten. I have them do, and women, I just have them do these basic postures every single day. It releases serotonin into the brain naturally. And in 3 months, you will see the difference in your brain and the way that you react they were off their meds in 3 months. I never chose meds because I knew I could heal myself naturally, and this is what I did every day. Now push up into the palm of your hands, upward dog. So now, for those of you who are very flexible in your spine, release the buttocks. You don't need to squeeze the buttocks. For those of you who have limitations in your spine and your back, it feels a little bit too much, squeeze the buttocks gently. And breathe. Now I'm getting a deeper squeeze into those adrenals and those kidneys. Even more blood flow and oxygen. Good. Lift up the crown of the head. It opens up the diaphragm. More oxygen comes in. Good. Now turn big pickle jars without turning your arms. So here's my hands, and what we're doing is this. So turn my pickle jars. So now my elbows face in, and the shoulders drop down away from the ears, and I get a deeper squeeze. Now breathe. Open up the mouth, the jaw. The fight or flight response sits in the back of the neck, and where else? The base. Good. So by engaging my pelvis into the floor, by engaging my hands into the floor, releasing my neck and shoulders, I'm reprogramming my nervous system. 5 breaths. Good. Now slowly come on down. Turn your head to the side on the mat. Bring your arms to the side of your body. Palms are up. Toes are in. Heels are out. Breathe and receive. And you're going to feel the serotonin in the brain being released. Feel relaxed. You notice how you're taking full breaths? You're breathing from your pelvis to your belly to your heart and lungs? Yes? Beautiful. Emotional body. Weaving with the physical body. So I'm releasing pent-up emotion. I'm releasing serotonin into my brain. I'm reprogramming my fight or flight response. Vitality, the kidneys are all about your vitality, which is your core. Bringing more vitality into the body. I'm pressing my pelvis into the floor, so I'm engaging my ovaries. Prostate. Everybody big sigh. 1, 2, 3. Feel like you want to go to sleep now? Yeah, because you don't realize how much your nervous system's on overload. So we want to keep those adrenals and those kidneys very healthy. This is the way to do it. And why do you think you can't lose weight, ladies? When you're trying to be on a diet and trying to lose that last 10 pounds? Not enough serotonin in the brain. You crave sugar, you crave carbohydrates, which turns into fat as an energy source. What burns fat in the simplest form? Exercise physiology 101. Oxygen. The more I release my emotional baggage, the easier it is for me to maintain a healthy weight. So now slowly bring your palms down to the side. Keep your arms where they were to the side of your body. Palms are facing down. Separate your legs. We're going to come into a gentle boat, a modified boat. So as you press your pelvis down into the floor, good. Lift up your head about the boat. It's focus. Stop allowing your environment to create your destiny. Create your own destiny. Pick up your head. Find a focal point in the room. Straight ahead. Don't take your eyes off of it. Watch how many times you take your eyes off. Find the smallest point in the room. Now lift up the palms, the hands, lengthen out to the fingertips, open up the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. As I lengthen and straighten, don't push out through the neck. Lift up through the crown. Good. Back off a little bit. Everybody's ego here. Perfect posture. I don't care about the posture. It's about the intent of the posture. The alignment of your posture. Now breathe. 5 breaths. 1. Everybody's looking down on the floor, a bunch of you. Look straight. Your boat's going to crash. 3. 4. 1 more. 5. Now give me 100%. 100%. Now give me your will. 100%. Yeah, nobody knows what your 100% is. Learn how to reserve your energy. Good. Come on. 2 more breaths. 1, 2. 2. Slowly come on down, turn your head to the opposite side, palms are up, toes are in, heels are out. Breathe in, receive. Fantastic. Feel the rush, serotonin in the brain, the jaw starts to get a little bit lighter, breath is really working, feel the heat in your body, at the same time you work your beautiful buttocks and your thighs and your triceps and your upper back muscles, all these different muscles, organs are being engaged. Kidneys, the adrenals, the thymus, because I have to squeeze my shoulder blades and press my heart forward, so I'm strengthening my thymus, my immune system. So slowly come on up. Move your body whichever way it tells you. You can come into a child posture, mountain dog, whatever works for you. So if you were to continue doing a lot of these postures, because they're all about releasing the emotions, people start to break down. They start to cry. They start to have like a Shakti hit. The Shakti, the Kundalini starts to rise, which is the divine feminine energy moving to you and through you and healing you. Have you ever seen somebody start shaking? Because what's happening is the nervous system, the cellular memory is being released from the nervous system. So it's talking to every organ gland in the system. And the body is saying it's no longer of service to you. It's like shedding skin. So when you are in your yoga class and the emotion comes up, stop bearing it down. We go like this and we swallow it. So the body's telling you, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to let this go. But the mind won't let it. The mind won't allow what the heart wants to feel. That's why you're doing yoga, is to heal, not just for a workout. The physical body will always benefit from what you do spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically it shows up. So turn your thinking process around. Where have I disconnected from the source of this love? Mentally, what are the belief systems from my culture, from my religion, from my family, whatever, that are taking me further away from this love? Emotionally, what do I continually do to hurt myself not feeling worthy of this love? All these diets. And when you think about the word diet as the word diet. And then physically, why do I keep, you have to have humor, right? In the healing process, I have to have humor. I go, oh my God. And then the light bulb goes off. Oh, Jesus, it took me 20 years to figure that one out. And then physically, why do I continually punish, or why do I continually attract the same actors and actresses over and over and over again? Keep tracking the same guy or the same situation, you just wear different clothing. It's the same thing. At the core, it's still the same because you have not healed that at your core. It may look better, but it's still not. It's still reflecting. So the faster I can turn the finger in and go, what part of me doesn't feel worthy, or why did I attract this? And the faster you're going to heal, like that. And it takes moments. It's that simple. It's like, oh my God, you awaken. That's why I call them Camper Goddesses the awake. It's like, wake up. Wake up. You know, we've got like this veil in front of us, and we don't see things. We don't choose to see things. And then we become a victim of life instead of participating in our life. So ask yourself those 4 questions. The whole book is based upon it, and it's the Sierra Bender Empowerment Method. And again, I mostly work with women because my mission is to lower the statistics against violence. But I also work with men because I work with men too. It's not that we're leaving you out, guys. So this is the book. The word goddess brings up a lot of stuff. Still to this day, it brings the word goddess. Because it's not academic enough. It's not enough. It's not sad. The word goddess is not enough. We use the word God. What? So Debbie has helped me tremendously put this into a practical, academic, medical format. So now it's called the Sierra Bender Empowerment Method. Same stuff. Exactly the same stuff. It's just less threatening. So even you as a goddess, ladies, or you call your ladies a goddess, it's just the most beautiful complement to her, because the goddess is the feminine essence, the other side of God, spirit, creator. It actually means diva or deva. And diva, of course we know it's got a bad rap, but diva actually means that we as women are the manifestation of spirit in this form. So what we do through our cooking and our singing and our loving and our healing and everything that we touch brings beauty, brings the divine to life. That is what a diva actually means. It's Latin. She's able to channel this energy, it moves to her and through her. And that's what you just experienced today. How do I tap into it? How do I access it? And then how do I execute it in my everyday life? And just be aware that all that love and all that energy brings up fear. And when you know that coming in, you don't down-tone yourself or you don't turn it off because what's coming at you is fear. You just learn to dodge. Oh, that's good. That's not my stuff. Because I will not allow anyone to